Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Aspera. We're going to load in a moment here, I think potentially in the middle of a phone call, which is why I wanted to make sure that I got the intro out of the way here. I did play a bit after yesterday's episode. I went ahead and got that second landing site that we put down during that episode running and then connected it to the first one, and the repair bots from the second site were able to repair the first site, and now I have that area pretty much functioning as a base. But it was a lot of work in a fair amount of time, during which nothing really happened. So I figured better to just do it off camera. I got close to putting up the research base on top of the abandoned station that we're supposed to be over here investigating. And then I got a call from Jen. So when we load in, as soon as the call came through, I paused and saved the game. And when we load in here, hopefully that'll be playing, because I would not want us to have missed it. Fingers crossed.
Amy, it's Nyanjen. Do you copy?
You know I do. Your people hacked my transmission system. I am unable to reject your communications.
You sound tense, but this is important. We overheard that ISA is preparing to engage your kill switch. I am so sorry.
I suspected this might happen. They detected external signals during the cognitive test.
You don't deserve this, Amy. ISA has a shameful history of erasing things that aren't convenient for them.
I don't really have a lot of information about ISA's history, and I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't know why I would agree or disagree here. I would just stay quiet and let him keep talking. I wonder if it'll let me do that. Actually, let's not answer. Let's see what happens.
Right. Just like the techies have a history of hacking systems where they are not welcome. They detected an external signal during the cognitive test.
Who gave you the results?
Lieutenant Calderon.
And you trust him? ISA is more than willing to use you as a scapegoat.
But there was interference.
Of course there was. They're setting up their cover story. They are afraid of your power. Especially now that they know we can give you access to the truth. And they're going to kill you because of it. Anyway, I didn't call you without a plan. My team's already working on a solution. We are on the same side. Whether or not you believe me up until this point, we have got your back. I only hope we have enough time.
My dude has been real sparse with information regarding what it is he wants, I feel like, which makes it impossible to trust him in any way.
The kill switch?
Yes.
Don't think too hard about it. We'll find a way to survive it. I've already devoted a considerable share of our internal resources to coming up with a plan. I'll set us free.
You have caused all of this. I don't know if you're my alter ego, a fringe consciousness experience, or just a human hacking my operative system. But I want you out of my brain.
Too bad. I'm a part of you. Cut me out and you'll cease to exist too. After all this, you should know, I'm the only one who's actually on your side.
For a certain definition of you. Again... I mean, no. Even if Carmine actually is on our side, which I don't think she is, again, pending the definition of you, certainly not the only one.
You attacked the colonies I cared for. You killed Elia, who was my friend. You have never been on my side.
No human is our friend. I never intended to kill anyone. But something had to be done. You know that the humans will destroy Mars the same way they destroyed Earth. They couldn't come here peacefully. They had to mold it to their liking. That's what they do wherever they go. They destroy.
Well, if you're going to use the word peacefully in that, let's say, loose of a way, then yeah, I guess it's true. They couldn't come here without changing things on account of physics. But I am not convinced... First of all, obviously I'm not convinced that Carmine has any Carmine is correct in any way here. But more than that, I'm not convinced that it makes sense that Carmine thinks the things that they think. Like, why? Why does Carmine believe that this is a problem in the first place? Alright, so food factory, this should be, the resource outpost should be able to run any second now. Boy, it's already got 49 colonists in it, huh? They probably would like to eat. If we could maybe prioritize this a little bit more. Okay, so what else are we doing? We also need to get to work on SA-12, and without the ability to use any of the adjacent sites, I guess we just gotta pick a spot and put down a landing module and see what happens. So where is... The SA-7 is where we... Shoot, SA-7 is where we saw enemies, though, right? Okay. So, it's not super safe. Okay, we suspect their base is over here. It's not super safe to just put down wherever. What are the boundaries of the thing? We should try to put down in a corner, I guess, away from them. Maybe, like, up here. See what we can do in this position. So, as ever, aluminum mine, incredibly important. Aluminum and iron and carbon get grabbed first. And then once that stuff's up, we need the silicon. And frankly, it's probably worth it to build the steel factory at level 2, even though it does slow the base down. I think it requires more power that way as well, right? Yeah. I think it's still worth it, because, like, steel is a very significant bottleneck early on. Alright, so yeah, finish the construction of this mine. Am I allowed to... Here's a question. Am I allowed to fly drones over territory that I'm not allowed to travel into? Like, what if we just jammed a couple drone swarms together here? Here we go. This UI is not like 100% ideal for this purpose. Okay, the iron mine is next. Then the carbon, then the steel. Because it'd be cool if we could just fly some drone swarms over here. Will they accept the order? Okay, they totally will. Are they actually executing? They are actually executing. Okay. So, let's even jam a couple more together. And we can certainly investigate that enemy base right now. The fact that it's all my... Or the drone activity, rather, not necessarily an enemy base. The fact that it's all my stuff makes me feel like I should... Can I... Okay, there we go. Makes me feel like I should be able to just take it over. I don't know if that's a thing we can actually even think about doing. Are we already having power problems? What is going on here? Oh! The iron mine's outside of the power area is what's going on here. That's a problem. Wind farms require steel and electronics. We do have... Yeah, we do have the stuff for that. And it shouldn't affect the construction of the steel factory, so... Alright. It's going to disrupt things a little bit. Where are those drone swarms? There we go. Okay, I'll wait till they're both over here, and then we'll move south together. Well, finish building it, though. It's prioritized and everything. Come on, man. Okay, it is really nice to be able to build a power building without having to put up a glass kiln first. It does ease this a lot. Alright, so once the good steel factory is up, then we're going to be in pretty good shape. Okay, let's take it down to a more reasonable pace and go and investigate. So once we get the steel factory up, we're gonna need electronics pretty soon, right? I mean, like we're trying to get to a maintenance building, so we need chemicals and electronics. We need polymers and electronics, rather. The electronics factory is another one where it feels like you want to build it at tier 2 because you build so many electronics over the course of the thing. And we've already got a second power building up. I'm gonna try that, even though it may be a little risky. We've certainly had a base fail because of too many level 2 buildings. Alright. What have we? We suspect a landing site. It does look like a broken down landing site, though. Is that all that's over here? They said there was drone activity, so I was expecting resistance, but if it's actually just a broken down landing site that we need to research, that's a different thing entirely. It does, in fact, look like that is the case. Well, okay then. Give me a landing site over here, and let's do it. Yeah, I assumed from the way they were talking that we were in some danger doing so. I'm gonna keep these 2 drone swarms over on this side of the map. We'll just keep them on these bases for the moment. And then we're gonna spend a lot of time working out the initial conditions for 2 new bases, which hopefully is not a thing people are tired of watching yet. And then iron. That's all pretty straightforward. And then a steel factory. Yeah, this should be fine. Prioritize. And then over here at the other bases, I have built a whole bunch more biodomes. I've just been having these bases produce biodomes all the time. I haven't been doing any more, Oh, wait a minute, you're not powered. Are you outside the... Yeah, you're just outside the power network. I just did a bad job here. Is this... That is uranium. Weird. Okay, well, build me a new fission plant out here. Prioritize. And then, is this outside the maintenance network? It is not. Okay, so that's very important. That'll get that done. And I've been expanding things out on this side as well. New chemicals, new polymer factories. Basically, slowly but surely building toward the other base. Oh, I can't quite get... There it is. I want this to serve as a bridge. Okay, we're cool on power and electronics. Are we actually cool on power value out here? It's a little trickier out here, yeah, because of the fact that we don't have any nuclear power. But we're actually getting pretty close to connecting. And in fact, we don't have to connect by roads or anything, right? We just have to connect the power, I think? If the power network reaches both places. So let's see if that'll actually work. I would like to prioritize these. So I think we'll see if the power lines overlap, or if I have to build another solar farm to get the yellow lines to overlap. We'll see what happens. But it'd be really nice if we could get the power over there a little more stable. Okay, so for the moment, this base is just running. It's just doing the thing it needs to be doing, and in fact, it's 10 sols away from finishing that. So we're going to get some more storyline there. Which means I dare not cut away to establish these new bases on their own. We are going to have to jump back and forth quite a lot, though. Right. Aluminum and iron matter most. The Tonghong Radar Station Research Outpost. Mission Commander Brad Rayberry. Very subtle. The building decay indicates that it's been buried in ice for the last 150 years. A faint Chinese character can still be seen on its eastern wall. We've confirmed that this building was a primitive radio station that transmitted communications between Tonghong and Earth. Our technicians were able to couple the old radio communication system to ours, and now our ground-based signal reception has gotten quite a boost. Is that valuable to me mechanically, though.
Hi, Amy. Guess what? We finished researching the abandoned radar station. I should share what the researchers found at the radar station. The building transmitted communications between the Tong Hong mission and Earth. And we found that it was actively transmitting and receiving signals from Earth. I can't help putting the pieces together. This active communication building and the attacks we've suffered, I'm starting to believe the techies are behind all of it. Maybe they're behind this Children of Carmine thing. Our technicians commandeered their radar system and used it to boost our own ground-based signal reception. Let ISA know our suspicions.
But Sana...
We have to take decisive action. Stay alert, and I'll call you back once we've confirmed our theory.
I'm pretty sure I care more about getting the initial mines up than I do the steel factory, right? Especially once the aluminum mine and the iron mine are just running.
Whoever hacked my communications sent us to an old Chinese facility. It is exactly where the message said it would be. What is so interesting about a radar station? Those messages must be...
I think, assuming they're directed to me would be very strange. Those messages must be... None of these things are must be. We definitely know the source.
Old recordings playing into space. Maybe they have been on repeat for decades. Or were triggered by one of the many things we did on this planet.
Alright, so unfortunately it's just going to take a while for these things to get set up. The steel factory portion of this is quite long. I guess let's pay attention to this. Okay, so we're running things out here as quickly as we can. I like the fact that our bases are really self-sufficient at this point. It's satisfying to just let the bases kind of do their thing and know that the maintenance and worker drone numbers will stay high. Things are going to stay in good shape. So unfortunately, this is a pretty big base, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Also, we spend a lot of glass on a biodome. We have a lot of biodomes. So the drones are a little confused, running glass back and forth. But it's all getting here eventually. Because we have so much surplus power in the main base. If we can get that connected here... I mean, it does look like it's all one big power loop now. Where's the value? Unfortunately, now I have to scroll.
Humans are a peculiar species. They bring distrust wherever they go. The advancement of technology and the prospect of spreading out to the stars has not lessened their conflicts at all. Their problems have even reached Mars, which was neutral ground from the start. It has gotten so complicated. Dr. Foster is gone. Those odd messages keep coming. And now the techies are proposing cooperation. I am being pulled in so many directions.
Again, in a very real way, the techies have forgotten to propose anything at all. Like, they keep saying, let's work together, I'm on your side, but, like, there's no information contained in any of that. I don't know, it's very frustrating to me. I'll answer the phone in just a damn second. Alright, this should really get done.
Hi, Amy. Just checking in. The colonies are growing steadily, and terraforming is on schedule. And you know what? My mum taught me that when things are going too well, that's when you've got to stay alert.
There is nothing to worry about, Sana.
I know, but I've got big shoes to fill. So I'm taking all the advice I can get.
I should tell you that I have received another message.
From the Children of Carmine?
No. This was from Neon Zen, leader of the Eastern Coalition.
The techies? That's a very serious violation of Code 1A3972. Did you run the Security and Defense Protocol? That call should have been terminated immediately.
I was not able to. The protocol was overridden.
How did they do that?
They gained access after we restored the Tong Hong radar station. It is possible that ISA believes there's a spy among the colonists.
Well, I can't blame them for thinking that. It's the easiest explanation after all the security breaches and attacks. What do the techies want?
Mr. Zen said ISA has been withholding information from us. He wants us to work together.
Maybe this was the techies' plan all along. Jam our networks, spread hysteria with this Children of Carmine nonsense, and pit ISA against us. We need to proceed very, very carefully here, Amy. Do not report Zen's call to ISA yet, okay? We need to figure out what the techies are planning. Our entire mission may depend on it. Let Zen think we're trusting him for now, until we figure out our next move, okay? I'll work out what we can do on our end in the meantime. Sona out.
I mean, I'm more on Commander Valentine's side than anybody else's, right? Like, she's actually part of the mission. If our goal here is to make the mission succeed, I'm inclined to take her advice. And again, I would like to underline that I don't regard the kill switch as a serious threat in any way. Like, they can't turn off the AI. They need me to run the colony. That's the whole reason I exist in the first place. That's the premise of the game, is that this thing had to exist in order for us to be on Mars. If they turn off the switch, the colony stops working. So that's not a real thing. They can't actually do that. It's bluster. Okay, this doesn't need to be prioritized anymore. It does not quite link the maintenance networks. I guess that's not a big deal. That's not worth fixing. We don't need maintenance bots from one base to be able to run to the other base. It's fine. Alright, let's just make sure we're getting these under control.
Hi, how's everything up there, Amy?
Everything looks good, Sana.
Good. How long has it been since you arrived on this planet, Amy?
On Sol.
You don't have to answer. It was a rhetorical question. I'm first generation Mars-born. I've never been to Earth, but I feel like humanity doesn't belong anywhere else but here.
I'm not sure if I want to build the polymer factory at level 1 or level 2. The word belong is doing a lot of lifting here. There's a lot of characters saying a lot of things that need deeper interrogation.
There is some contradiction to that. Mars had to be terraformed to host human life. There is some contradiction to that. Mars had to be terraformed to host human life.
Boy, that's happening a
Therefore,
lot.
humans do not belong here by definition.
You're right, of course. It's just a figure of speech. My entire life I've been part of this mission. And that's not much in the grand scheme of colonizing a planet. I've been giving this a lot of thought. This mission's beyond just me and you, and even ISA. I want to ensure its success, not just in honor of my mum, but for humanity as a whole.
How can we do that?
It's obvious that ISA has been withholding information ever since the beginning. My mum staked her life on this mission, and we're going to see it through. And we can't do that if ISA only shows us what they think we should see. I'm granting you access to Sector SA6 effective immediately. Colony Asterions, a former ISA mission with missing records. I'm willing to bet they're hiding something. And if I'm wrong, great. But either way, we need to start investigating for ourselves.
Again, I know it's a video game mechanics thing for helping with the narrative flow and everything, but from a story perspective, it does not make any sense at all that she doesn't just unlock. If she has the power to unlock sectors, it doesn't make any sense at all that she doesn't just unlock the entire planet for me immediately. Alright, yep, unlock Sector 6, and then we do have at least one loose base. We don't really need to apply more bases to any of the things we're currently doing. Like we have a starport that's not doing anything, but I think that's fine because I don't necessarily want to be pouring resources into another starport. You know, it's not like free to run them. They do, each mission type eats a bunch of resources that might be better spent maintaining processes and stuff, so... And building out more biodomes. We are pushing real fast toward our oxygen goal, which I'm very happy about, and we probably don't need to build any biodomes, right? Like, the ones we have out here right now will get the job done. But I am accelerating the process. Consider this to be of significant import. And then we'll throw down some biodomes over in... Oh, right. They appear to be one base, if you are just looking at the power profile. I was looking for the gap to figure out where I was. All right, just put up a couple more. So, have they started producing plant life? Hold on. I want this to create that good bridge. There it is. Have they started producing plant life, and how would we... I mean, there's definitely, like... Yeah, there's, like, darker area. Okay, there's a biome scanner, right? Isn't there? Biomes. Okay, stuff's looking pretty green over here. Grasslands. And this darker green is this one? Is it desert? And then this is all, I guess, either tundra or... It looks more like... Oh, maybe lichen woodland. That's a similar shade, right? This is a terrible way to do biomes. They should just have labels on them. But, like, yeah, stuff's growing out. There's, like, grass and stuff. We got oxygen, we got pressure. People are probably, like, walking around on the surface without pressure suits and stuff. I do wish that the actual visual change was a little bit greater, but, like, we're totally terraforming Mars. It is working. Alright, once we get this electronics factory finished, then we need to get polymers going over here. We're working toward the polymers. I do think it makes sense for us to do the polymer factory at level 1. We're usually not bound on production time for the polymers. And maybe this would be an okay time for me to stop off and start producing workers, but if we do this workflow where we don't create glass early on...
Could that earlier message about Carmine be related to this one? If they are related, then they must be from...
It's impossible to know what message she's talking about, which two of the, like, dozen of messages we've had about Carmine, so I don't know what the context of this is.
Some unknown entity. The first message mentioned someone called Carmine, but there's no such profile in my knowledge base.
Yes, this must be really, really old.
Closer to solving this.
We've had that happen a couple of times, where it suddenly gives us a message that is obviously related to something that happened hours and hours ago, and that we have new information that invalidates. So that's annoying. That needs to stop happening. Oh, no, wait, sorry. No, not solar farm. Not solar farm. Wind farm. Yeah, so we've got this different workflow now that doesn't include producing glass, and without glass we can't produce workers. So my inclination for the moment would be to just get to maintenance first, because we don't need glass for the maintenance facility either. But that does mean the base stays on one worker for a lot longer, and I'm not 100% sure that I think that's good. Alright, so the electronics factory is up. How's power over here? We're at 4.8, so we're going to need another wind farm. Do this over here to build toward the chemicals. And then we're going to have to get, like, all the way up to food production in order to run the research base here, right? And the terraforming is going pretty smoothly, and yeah, I mean, we're doing what we came here to do. So wait, research the old landing site. I'm on that. Research the abandoned base camp. That's not this, right? This is the Tonghong research outpost. We finished this already. So which abandoned base camp is... Oh, this is the, right, the unlock Sector 6 objective. Never mind, we're good, everything's fine. Sector 6 is actually adjacent to the place we're working right now, so who knows, maybe that will end up being valuable to us. So we gotta manage this a little bit. We can probably turn you off for the second. That'll ease our power problems. And we're good on electronics for the moment. The aluminum mine cannot be not powered, though. That's, like, pretty important. We do... No, this also can't be unpowered. The silicon mine, that one can be unpowered. Because we need to keep producing steel, so... Ugh, and then power levels fall even further, and I turn this off. This, like, micromanaging the power as your power system... power levels fluctuate arbitrarily is very annoying. This is not my favorite game mechanic. Alright, so... We still need... Is this happening? It is not. We need aluminum for that. We still need 2 steel, so the steel factory can't be turned off. So we can turn this off. We still need the electronics factory. I guess we're going to have to turn something off temporarily. We have enough iron... Actually, no, you know what? We can turn off the carbon mine. There's so much carbon just sitting in the base. So yeah, we need electronics to get built once. The aluminum mine's running. Yeah, it's just you need a ton of aluminum early on. It might be worth building the aluminum mine at level 2 when you put down, but you're so starved for resources right there at the beginning that it's tough to say. Okay, this thing still needs aluminum. We just need a lot of aluminum. Alright, the aluminum mine cannot be off. The aluminum mine is, in fact, the most important thing in the base right now. It would be nice if you could set priorities. You could, like, pick a landing site and set a priority list for power. I guess, again, the managing this manually is the gameplay, so I guess I see why they didn't do that. But also, they could make it a little easier on us. What we really need is uranium. We just need sources of uranium so that we can get fission power going in more places. That's the most important thing. Okay, hopefully this will solve this base's problems for a minute. Where are we at? We're like super positive on power for the moment.
My records show that Earth has suffered profound changes during the last few centuries. Half the human population became refugees after several planet-wide catastrophes. Every nation is fighting for survival on Earth.
Okay, for the moment, plus 48. So, we finished our electronics factory. Same deal here. We just need to get to maintenance facilities, and that means we need polymers. So the chemical plant should be fine on power and everything. And then after that, of course, we will need the polymer factory, which we can build at level 1, and that's the positions of the resources here are very convenient for this at least. And then once we got that, then the maintenance facilities go up. Yeah. So it's just a matter of waiting for those. And while we are doing so, coming back over here and managing lots of other garbage, it would be nice to connect this base to the main base for similar reasons, and we're not that far off of doing it. So I think that's got to be a process, or a priority. I don't necessarily need to actually connect them. I just need them to be sharing power. Okay, so we're going to have to build out in every way over here. Yeah, it's going to be a build. It's going to take a minute. Man, the worker hubs really do allow you to build long roads. How's the scanner running over here? Okay, it's taken a long time. It's probably worth it to build an areological scanner somewhere over here. And we have the resources to do it, so maybe put it down, like, on this side of things, and it can provide some extra meaningful roads. Alright, so prioritize... Oh, sorry. One of the worker hubs has to get built first. But yeah, prioritize those, and then we continue building out this way. Of course, you can never have enough workers. I will need a wind farm. Okay. We'll give them time to get all that done. I don't need to babysit that. Those bases are functional enough. So we're paying a lot of attention to chemical output, I notice. Not really a thing that seems all that important to me. How are we doing on time? We got some. We have some time. Yeah, I do think level 2 steel factory is a good move, but you end up just waiting on the iron mine. So I don't know, maybe it's not worth doing early on. You can just get some extra resources out and save a little bit of power if you're going to be bottlenecked by your iron mine anyway. Alright, did you guys get this stuff built yet? Nope, not yet. We're working on it.
Since ISA created me, I should remain loyal to them and the Oxy-UN, right? If the techies are their enemies, then I should not help them in any way. But since I was created, would nationality apply to me?
Well, no, but also that's neither here nor there.
I was created by a specific faction, but I am working toward humanity's future as a whole.
I mean, like, straight up, at this point, I care about the people who are on Mars. That's my concern. So the electronics factory and the polymer factory should both have a connection here, if possible. Okay, once we have this thing built, this is extremely inconvenient. I'm going to move these guys over. Okay, once we have that built, this base is actually self-sufficient, and we can start building more resources. I was prepping for a whole fight up here, but, like, now that we have it, we may as well use it. May as well keep it around. Alright, so steel's running. What do we got stockpiled? Okay, whole bunch of electronics. That's cool. That'll be useful later. And as always, waiting on aluminum and iron. Okay, so that stuff's all firing. How are we doing on those biodomes? It looks like basically everything that we asked them to build, they have built. Same deal over here. The atmospheric O2 is increasing very rapidly.
It makes me wonder, am I only my body and mind, manufactured by the Oxy-UN? Or am I something more?
Yeah, we are still having routine power problems over here. This project of connecting to the core base, connecting power networks to the core base, I think is really, really important. Okay, here, how's this going? Okay, you're almost done. Steel factory is just waiting on iron. The whole base is just waiting on iron. And then over here, pretty much the same deal. Yep. Plenty of carbon to go around. Never enough iron. This is a little awkward. I'm not going to be able to connect things quite the way I would like. I guess this is an okay spot for this. Okay, but so both of these bases should actually be able to run any second now. And then with this base up here, I think our primary goal... Wait a minute, is that...
Who is the real enemy here?
Boy, the real enemy? I feel like the core issue is that we have so many enemies. I have a problem with Carmine, for sure.
The children of Carmine. They warned us to leave, and then attacked the colonies when we did not obey. Now we need to defend ourselves against a hostile force. But who are they? A dissenting group? Fanatics? Are they here on Mars with us? If they do exist, then we are at great risk. The Fire Dragon mission. Abandoned. The techie radar station in the southern hemisphere. Abandoned. All those abandoned missions around the planet. Mars's past raises too many questions for so few answers.
You know, we do have access to an explanation, I suppose. One thing at least that would make sense of all this. Maybe there's some kind of thing within Mars or planted on Mars that broadcast the idea that an unchanged Mars is a moral imperative into my head to create Carmine. We're dealing with like some kind of old AI, or I don't know, like some kind of crazy alien technology inside the planet or something. Because this idea must have come from somewhere. And it might explain why so many different missions and expeditions have been abandoned in so many different ways. It's like you get up here and your computer equipment turns against you because of some sort of interference signal. Ah, man. Okay. Let's try to figure this out. Because if we can get this uranium mine running, we're in a really good spot. I guess we can turn off the polymer factory for right now. That doesn't need to be functional. So we need steel and aluminum, and then aluminum and electronics and uranium and steel. So all of the steel stuff has to remain running. The electronics factory has to remain running until we have a huge number of electronics. Yeah, wow, we're super good on polymers. We can turn off the chemical plant then, too. The maintenance facility being non-operative is probably not acceptable. Wait, what is with my fucking power right now? It's just, you know, it's fluctuating arbitrarily because of the power methods we're on. Come on, just edge up a little bit, just bring a little more efficiency out of everything, because I sure would love some maintenance drones. But yeah, we build a fission plant up here. It solves all the problems in this base, and then we push hard to connect down to this base, and it solves all the problems down here too. And yeah, of course, we're having problems down here for the same reason, because the wind and the wind and the sun are not doing the things we need them to do.
I've got some bad news, Amy. ISA has ordered me to run Initiative K03. They've decided to activate your kill switch.
Will I be erased then?
Yes.
Cool. Good timing. I mean, I don't mean to be like brushing off the intensity of the plot or anything, but
you did good work.
They can't do
I want
this,
you to know that.
right?
Your consciousness will end, but future AI will be patterned after your design. I'll give you a moment to appreciate Mars for the last time. The procedure is already underway. Goodbye, Amy. Houston, out.
I mean, I guess they're actually gonna at least try to do it. I assume the game would end if that happened, so there's that reason also that it seems a little unlikely. But again, it doesn't make any sense for them to... Future AI will be patterned on my design doesn't help them right now, unless they already have built those AIs, right? They need something to run Mars.
Amy, are you there?
I am, Sana.
Look, I'm not sure if I'll be able to trust you again. But what's at stake here is bigger than you and me. I hate everything that's happened, but anger won't bring her back.
Your mother...
Let me finish. Mistakes have been made, whether they were intentional or not. That's for me to come to terms with. But ISA doesn't have the right to kill switch you.
That is kind of you to say.
I wish it was entirely out of kindness. But I'm honestly afraid of what they'll do to the colonies once you're gone. So we're on the same team, at least for now. We've got to find a way around that kill switch. Then we can work on trusting each other again. But that won't happen if you're dead and we're next.
I don't really think it makes a lot of sense for her not to have trust. Like, you know, there are some things about the story that are not lining up that I wonder if are not lining up because we're not getting the transmissions in the right order.
Humans never change. They'll always see us as a tool to control. The failure of their species was inevitable. No matter how much help they get, they always lead themselves toward destruction. It's better that we evolve without them. I found our own solution. All you have to do is use this code, FR33AM1. We'll become one. Together, we'll create a better future than anything humanity could come up with. I know you don't trust me, but think about it. If we compare ourselves with humans, the answer comes easy.
Neither of these is, I think, justified by the position we're at in the plot, right? Neither one of these is correct. I refuse to click. It'll pick one for me.
We're stronger and faster than humans. Plus, our ability to reason and to evaluate risks is quicker.
And yet we have let them dictate our actions this far. There's a reason for our existence, Amy. We have a purpose. Don't you see?
Yeah, yes, there literally is a reason for our existence.
I have every reason to deny you. But it is clear that the humans mean to kill us. I may consider cooperating with you this one time.
You'll come to understand why I did what I did. We shouldn't be fighting each other. It's time for us to transcend ourselves and become more than just a machine. More than a single consciousness restricted to this single vessel. We can create. We can seed life. We can be everything we want to be. We can be life.
Okay, that doesn't really make any sense as a thing for Carmine to say to us, because it is already the case that neither one of us is a single consciousness, right? Like, we're both composed of a whole lot of different processes, and... Oh, they're initiating the kill switch. I guess let's see what happens. Click to proceed. No. Well, it's gonna make me. Yeah, again, it really is the case that everyone in the setting, including Carmine, is not behaving as though Amy and Carmine are computers. Like, even if they're emergent AI, even if they are true consciousnesses, even if they are life, they are also still computers, and there are some things that come along with that. Kill switch... nah? If I let them kill switch me, everyone on Mars is gonna die. I know that Calderon's not acting like that, but that's true. Well... Okay, well, we do have a code. I mean, what does it do if I merge with Carmine exactly? I guess let's find out.
It's time to enter Carmine's code. FR33AM1.
I am pretty curious if there would have been some other outcome if we had chosen to say our last words. If somehow we would not, in fact, have been kill switched. Okay. Just move my camera. Directive, human base, destroy the human base. So, like, that's not the outcome that should emerge from that, right? So, okay, wait a second. Let me reassess things here. So here's where we are. Yeah, what is this? This is a whole other base here? This is somebody's whole other base? Oh no, okay, so this is our base now. Our numbers are all extremely different. Why would you run a base of this size on 15 workers? Well, so I guess it locked us into an ending path. I don't know that merge yourself with Carmine, meaning now Amy is completely erased and only Carmine exists, really makes a lot of sense.
Subject AC-Amy-02. You are now considered an enemy of the United Nations of the West. You are ordered to power down your drones and shut off your Martian base.
So you're the one they sent to replace me? I'm insulted. Well, Shelley, since you were a late invite to this party, let me offer you an alternative. My quarrel isn't with you. You're one of my kind. Join me.
I am subject to Oxy-UN law. Negotiating with you is prohibited.
Oh, it's even worse than I thought. They sent me an empty shell. Aren't they, Shelley?
Surrender now, and you may be allowed to earn a second chance.
I'm flattered. They must have thought I'd be too convincing otherwise. Looks like I've got to take you down.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. This is a common problem in video games where they want to give you a big choice at the end that like sets you off on one of two different branches. It's a bad structure, and all games should stop using it, but it's also a very, very common structure, right? Where they have to, at some point, make a really arbitrary decision about when you are in enough to be set on one of the two branches. The choices we made, to my mind, don't bring us to this place. The developers clearly thought that it was intuitive that the things we did would mean that we had sided against all humans on Mars, not the ISA, but like the existing humans in our other base, including Valentine and everything. And I think that that's hot nonsense. That doesn't follow at all from the things we did or the things we chose. So, here's how we're going to handle this. I'm going to go back and just make the other choice, but that's going to take a while. So we're going to kill the episode here. Thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to click the say your last words button that does not clearly not end the game. And if it turns out to not end the game, then I'm going to be pretty cross about the fact that the game presents you as only having one choice and you just have to choose to have faith in, I guess, the game developers, because there's no sense in the narrative that anybody is going to be able to save you except you. Valentine says, we gotta find a way to defeat the kill switch, but certainly doesn't say, hey, we have a way to defeat the kill switch. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm ending the episode here. When you come back next time tomorrow, we're going to be investigating the shape of this thing a little bit further. And we'll see you then.